Sporting Clube de Braga degree EI squared E3/4 AEI, commonly known as Sporting de Braga or just Braga, is a Portuguese sports club, from the city of Braga. Its football team plays at the AXA Stadium, also known as the Quarry, which was built for UEFA Euro 2004. Domestically, Braga won the 1965 Euro 66 Portuguese Cup and the 2012 Euro 13 Portuguese League Cup. In the 2000s, the club gradually became one of Portugal's most successful clubs after the Big Three and has competed with some success in European competitions, winning the last ever UEFA Intertoto Cup in 2008 and reaching the final of the UEFA Europa League in 2011. After finishing in second place for the only time to date in the 2009 Euro 10 Primeira Liga, Sporting de Braga achieved a place in the group stage of the UEFA Champions League for the first time in its history by eliminating Celtic FC and Sevilla FC. Braga also qualified for the group stage of the UEFA Champions League in 2012 Euro 13 by eliminating Udinese. The club is currently sponsored by Italian sportswear company Macron and the Angolan bank Banco BIC. SC Braga won in 2013-14 its second U19 national championship. History: Braga have been known as Arsenal do Minho and changed their kits from green and white to their Arsenal-style red during the 1945 Euro 46 and the 1946 Euro 47 seasons due to their president José Copyright Antunes Guimara Poundis, who had business connections in London and was an Arsenal fan. In that year they won the second division title, reaching the first division for the first time. Braga even renamed their youth team Arsenal de Braga. The emblem of Sporting de Braga is the city of Braga's shield with Mother Mary and baby Jesus, with the blue from the city's shield changed to red. On the top of the emblem is the golden mural crown of Braga, with the name Sporting Clube de Braga on it. Many fans of Braga have said that Mother Mary gives them luck. The fans of Braga are known as Arsenalistas due to their team home kit that resembles that of English club Arsenal. They are also known as Bracarenses because of being from the city of Bracarense, later named Bracara Augusta, city of Portugal that is now known as Braga. Aside from the loyalty of its supporters, the Minho derby against Vita Clube Rio de Guimara Poundis is a match that both sets of fans eagerly await. This match is more than football, it is a way people from the north view each city. The derby is one of Portugal's most intense matches, and children under 13 are restricted from entering unless an adult is with them. The rivalry goes back to when the city of Braga was the ancient capital of Galicia and the largest Portuguese city by the time the Kingdom of Portugal was formed by Afonso I of Portugal. At that time, Guimara Poundis became the seat of the king and nobility, whereas Braga remained the centre of trade and religious power. European ambitions and recent history: back in the 1960s and 1970s, Braga began to climb up the league ladder and eventually participated in the UEFA competitions. Braga's recent run of successive European participations began in the 2004 Euro 05 UEFA Cup, after finishing fifth under Gismaldo Ferreira's first full season in the club. This marked the beginning of their rise and success both in the league and Europe. In the 2005 Euro 06, they challenged for the championship until the penultimate round, ending fourth. In 2006 Euro 07, Portuguese up-and-coming manager Carlos Carvalho became manager of the club and started with a poor start to the season, losing to AZ in the UEFA Cup despite crashing Czech Republic champions Slovan Liberec 4 Euro 0, and a 4 Euro 1 loss to Madeira side Maritimo. These losses proved to be the end of his season, despite success in European competitions, with an overall score of 3 Euro 2 against Italian club Chievo in the first round of the UEFA Cup. Carvalho resigned and was replaced with Roga Copyright Rio Goiás Section Alves, with former Portugal captain Jorge Costa as assistant manager of the club. Goiás Section Alves' first game in charge couldn't have gone better, with a 3 Euro 1 over Benfica and a week after a hard-fought loss against UEFA Cup and UEFA Super Cup champions Sevilla in the Estadio Rama Clube Denzar Nchezpizjuan. After a 1 Euro 0 away defeat to Unia Pound Oda Luria in a league match on February 18, 2007, Goiás Section Alves resigned. Braga president Anticube Nio Salvador announced on the same day that assistant manager Jorge Costa would be in charge until the end of the 2006-07 season. In his first game, Braga beat Parma 1-0. They then played Tottenham Hotspur, where they lost 6-4 on aggregate in the last 16. Braga eventually finished fourth in the league for the third successive time, just beating Belenenses by a point on the last day. During the summer of June 2007, it was presented that AXA would be the club sponsors in a multi-million-dollar deal in which the name of the stadium was changed to Estadio AXA, with this being the first in Portugal. After the 2006-07 season, Braga qualified for the UEFA Cup, where they faced Hammarby IF. Despite losing the first leg in Sweden 2-1, Braga won at home 4-0 to qualify to the group stage for the third consecutive time. Their first game was against Bolton Wanderers, where the game finished 1-1. Braga then played German giants Bayern Munich, who were the favourites to win the competition. Despite the negative feedback, Braga drew 1-1 with Roland Linz scoring the vital goal. After that impressive display, Braga faced Aris with another 1-1 draw, with Linz scoring another vital goal for the Minhotos. Braga then went into the last game against Red Star Belgrade of Serbia, where they picked up a 2-0 victory, which was enough to take them into the next round. They went on to face Werder Bremen but lost the first leg 3-0, which Braga missed 2 penalties, and the second 1-0. The 2008-09 UEFA Cup season saw the Minho club go against Bosnian club HK Zrinjski Mostar, who dropped from the UEFA Champions League second round. Braga started as favourites and beat Zrinjski Mostar 3-0 on aggregate. In the next phase, the Minho side were paired with Slovak giants Artmedia Petra 3/4 Alka, who were then beaten 6-0 on aggregate, with Albert Mong scoring a hat-trick in the process for Braga. After qualifying for the UEFA Cup group stage proper for a third successive season, the Portuguese side were paired with FA Cup winners Portsmouth, Italian giants Milan, Wolfsburg of Germany, and Heerenveen of the Netherlands. Braga started the game at home to Portsmouth and were convincing 3-0 winners, with Luis Aguirre scoring from a free kick and setting up the other 2 goals. This game proved to be Portsmouth boss Harry Redknapp's last game, as he then moved to Tottenham Hotspur. In the next group game, Braga faced a daunting task at the San Siro against the competition favourites Milan. The game finished in a 1-0 defeat for the Portuguese side. Despite the loss, Braga dominated the game for many long periods of time, holding the Italians to 0-0 after 93 minutes, but an individual goal from Ronaldinho from 35 metres out gave the Italians the full 3 points. The next game was against Felix Magath's Wolfsburg, where Braga lost 3-2, despite scoring the first 2 goals. The last game was at the Abe Stadion in the Netherlands against Heerenveen. Braga won the game 2-1 and progressed to the next stage. After getting further in the UEFA Cup than any of their 10 fellow winners of the UEFA Intertoto Cup, Braga were declared the last outright champions of the competition. In the 2010-2011 season, Braga made their UEFA Champions League debut at home in a 3-0 win against Celtic in the first leg of the third qualifying round. They lost the second leg away at Celtic Park 2-1, but went through to the play-off round on an aggregate score of 4-2. In the fourth qualifying round, they beat Sevilla FC 1-0 at home and 4-3 away, thus entering the Champions League group stage for the first time. On September 15, 2010, Braga were heavily defeated 6-0 by Arsenal in their first group stage. On September 28, Braga lost 3-0 against Shakhtar. On October 19, Braga won 2-0 against Partizan. 2 weeks later, on November 3, Braga won 1-0 against Partizan in Belgrade. On November 23, Braga beat Arsenal 2-0 at home, keeping their hopes of qualifying for the knockout stages alive if they could better Arsenal's result during the final round of matches. However, on December 9, Braga lost 2-0 to Shakhtar while Arsenal beat Partizan 3-1. The results meant that Shakhtar and Arsenal progressed to the second round, but Brugge finished third in the group to qualify for the knockout stage of the UEFA Europa League, where they would come to eliminate Lech Poznan, Liverpool and Dynamo Kyiv to reach the semi-finals of the competition. It was the first time Brugge reached the quarter-finals, and then the semi-finals of a European competition. It was also the first time three Portuguese clubs reached a Europa League semi-finals simultaneously. On April 28, Brugge lost 2-1 against Benfica in the first leg of the semi-finals. On May 5, Brugge went on to win the tie in the second leg with a 1-0 home win to reach the Europa League final 2011. On May 18, Brugge lost the final 1-0 to Porto. In the 2012 Euro 13 season, Brugge played for the second time in the group stage of the Champions League, after eliminating Udinese in the playoff round, by beating them in the penalties, after the first and second legs ended in 1-1. Brugge lost the first game of the group stage of the Champions League to Cluj home by 2-0 and won the second game by beating Galatasaray in Turkey by 2-0. In their third game, Brugge visited Old Trafford where they were defeated by Manchester United. Despite being winning by 0-2, Brugge went down by 3-2. On the fourth matchday, Brugge went on to receive Manchester United, but, after keeping a one-goal advantage until the 80th minute, they eventually conceded 3 goals, and lost 1-3. During their domestic season, they finished in fourth place, behind poor Section Os de Ferreira, which got their Champions League vacancy. League and Cup history. Recent seasons: AYA Brugge started season in the 2008 UEFA Intertoto Cup and then qualified for the 2008 Euro 09 UEFA Cup. B. A best league finish. C. A first presence in the UEFA Champions League. D. A Brugge started season in the 2010 Euro 11 UEFA Champions League and later joined UEFA Europa League after finishing third in the group stage. E. A best European competition finish. Last updated, May 10, 2014, current squad. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. On loan. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Reserve team. See also main article. SC Brugge B. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Honours: domestic, Portuguese League. Runners-up, 2009 Euro 10. Portuguese Cup. Winners: 1965 Euro 66, runners-up, 1976 Euro 77, 1981 Euro 82, 1997 Euro 98. Portuguese League Cup. Winners: 2012 Euro 13. Portuguese Super Cup. Runners-up, 1982, 1998. Second Division. Winners: 1946 Euro 47, 1963 Euro 64, runners-up, 1956 Euro 57, 1974 Euro 75. Ribeiro dos Reis Cup. Runners-up, 1970 Euro 71. FPF Cup. Winners: 1976 Euro 77. International, UEFA Intertoto Cup. Winners: 2008. UEFA Europa League. Runners-up, 2010 Euro 11. Former managers, references. External links, official website, detailed up-to-date Brugge news, football lineups, team profile, Brugge news at PSNL Soccer.